Okay, hello friends out there in YouTube land. This is Michael Wilson Barber's little YouTube channel. I wanted to do a little two-part video here. This is the airplane after 3 months of building. Took me 3 months to do this. And you can see here the center of the wing I connected with the nylon cloth. I got the aileron rods in there ready to go, and I've cut out all of my slits for the hinges that go on the ailerons, the elevator, and the rudder here. So this is ready to coat. So I just want to show you kind of the skeleton of what we have, but the more fun part of this video is coming up next. Okay friends, here's what I really wanted to show you is some of the tools I used to build the model airplane. Of course, you've already seen me say that I used mostly Type Bond 3 wood glue, and I put it in a bowl or a plate like this. Use a Q-tip, kind of put it on there and rub the excess with your fingers. Use a wet paper towel, kind of wipe it down, wipe your fingers off, things like that. So I've shown you that already. I did use a little bit of this Flex super glue, almost the whole bottle, but I only use that for certain applications, like some of the ribs on the wings and things like that. When I was a kid, we used to use this glue called Zap, that I don't think it's made anymore, but the idea is that it would be really quick, hence the name Zap. But it ended up like not building a good quality solid plane like this wood glue did. So it takes a little longer, but it's better. Okay, I ended up using 2 different X-Acto knives, the regular one and the one with this flat end. I had some good applications for cutting little pieces of wood, like coming straight down on an edge like this. That was good. I wanted to show you this. It's a little mini saw that I got on eBay. In fact, that's what I think it's called. It's like Hobby Mini Saw. And it came with a bunch of straight saw blades like this. It even had some of these curved saw blades. I don't know if you can see that, but this was really good for sawing off the edge of like a wooden dowel or something like that, a piece sticking out of the end. This is like the same type of thing you would use for cutting tree branches in the yard with the curved saw. Of course, I used a regular old-fashioned ruler with a regular old-fashioned pencil. Remember those? Used a lot of these paper clips to hold pieces in place while the glue was drying. Used a lot of these T-pins to hold wood and pieces in place while the glue is drying. This is the 1-inch T-pin I got at Hobby Lobby. Comes in this little case. Of course, I used this sometimes. You know, masking tape, carpenter's tape to hold things down temporarily. Now, what I was also real excited about to show you is this. I don't know how well you can see it. It's 2.5-inch cast iron vise, and it's about 5 pounds. It's even got this little anvil here. So I put it on this piece of 2x4, and I can move it anywhere in the garage I want to. But this was invaluable for bending some of the push rods and making a straight 90-degree angle on some of the push rods. And something else I learned was to get a sanding block. Man, this was super helpful for sanding. I've always just taken a block of wood and wrapped a piece of sandpaper around it. It doesn't always hold very well, but man, this sanding block worked great. for sanding. I don't know if you can see this, but of course I used this styrofoam board I got from eBay. I mean, not eBay, Hobby Lobby. It's like one of those styrofoam boards you can use for doing a science project, and I didn't unwrap it from the plastic until actually I was done. But this styrofoam board was great for doing the wings particularly and flat pieces. I recently bought this cutting mat. Again, I don't know how well you can see this, probably not too well. Bought this cutting mat from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to use it when I cut my Ultracote to coat the plane. Wish I would have had this all along, but I was just using a piece of plywood to make cuts. So another thing I learned was for sanding some of the basswood pieces, I got this little Dremel piece that you could fit on the end of a drill, and it has fairly coarse sandpaper on there. But this works great for sanding some of the harder, like basswood and plywood pieces on the plane. So that's mostly what I use. Sometimes I would use big rubber bands, and you've seen me use things like wrenches and hammers and stuff as a weight to hold things down. I even used this lamp a couple times when I wanted to hold something vertical or upright. So yeah, I learned some new things. Hope you maybe did too. Next steps, moving on to coating this Carl Goldberg Eagle 63-inch wingspan. Okay, God bless, goodbye.